Actually, the subcommittee has been deprived of the power to cite in contempt. Because that's the section 20 of our rule. So siguro yun, doon lang yung mga tao na nakita nila na
naguguluhan.
committee hearing ito sa Tuwadcom, ang bilis ng trigger happy sila ron sa pagdating sa contempt eh. Puno na yata ngayon detention center nila. Puno na. May overflow na sa Women's Correctional, sa Bilibid ba or what sa Quezon City Jail.
Kung bago ka lang dito sa NTPH, maaari bang makahingi ng isang like at subscribe? At huwag kalimutan pindutin ang notification bell para ma-notify kapag may ganito tayong upload. Salamat kabayan!
All right, joining us now on Hot Copy, we have with us Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel. He is leading the Senate Blue Ribbon Subcommittee looking into the Duterte administration's drug war. Senator Pimentel, good morning to you. Now, what do you make of Representative Abante? We often talk about interparliamentary courtesy. What do you make of Representative Abante criticizing you, how you conducted yourself when, let's face it, you and other colleagues don't criticize the lower house, or now they conduct their own hearings?
Ako nga, actually, I have refrained from commenting on how Quadcom conducts its hearings. Pero siguro, I will just allow that as a constituent Abante. Siguro ganun na lang. I will just accept his criticism because he is also my constituent. Diba, national yung constituency namin eh. So, he is my constituent, our constituent. So, he has the right to criticize us. Pero ganito na lang kasi, yung Quadcom na yan, why don't they just subpoena the former president and require his appearance before them? Ang dami rin nila kasing cheche boreche na invite, not invite, not invite. Subpoena nyo na lang, and then pag nandiyan na sa harap ninyo, then get the information that you want to get, and I hope that your proceedings will be more perfect than ours.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. You have Representative Robert Ace Barbers now saying that Duterte didn't look like he was of frail health when he attended the Senate probe. And he said that he was hoping that Duterte would show up at the next Quadcom hearing. Ang tanong ko, if the Quadcom subpoenas the former president and he refuses to appear, given he is a former president, can you actually cite him in contempt or have him arrested? Is that allowed?
House rules, can we ask them about their house rules?
Okay.
Pero
So magkaiba yun.
let me explain the subcommittee's rule. Kasi I am not an ordinary committee, I'm just a subcommittee. Actually, the subcommittee has been deprived of the power to cite in contempt. Because that's the section 20 of our rule. So siguro yun, doon lang yung mga tao na nakita nila na
naguguluhan.
committee hearing ito sa Quadcom, ang bilis ng trigger happy sila ron sa pagdating sa contempt eh. Puno na yata ngayon detention center nila. Puno na. May overflow na sa Women's Correctional, sa Bilibid ba or what sa Quezon City Jail. So meron silang power to cite in contempt, and they've been freely been citing, generously been citing people in contempt. The regular committees ng Senate meron din power to cite in contempt, but a subcommittee wala.
Okay. So do you think this is one of the reasons why you have critics saying Duterte called the shots? He took control of the Senate subcommittee. Do you think that was true? And do you think it's because it was a subcommittee?
No, hindi naman. Even if I had the power to cite in contempt, the question is, would I have exercised the power? I don't think that we have crossed any line to have cited the former president in contempt, di ba? I mean, at saka you do not do that unnecessarily kasi that's why it's a hearing before a legislative body. You know that there is some politics involved eh. Oh, sometimes the person would want to be cited in contempt, hindi ba? So, ingat din tayo. We don't give in to the plan or to the desire of that person. So but at any rate, that subcommittee has no power to cite in contempt. The point is, okay, the plan was to end at 4 o'clock. We ended at around 7 o'clock. So we had three extra hours. Garma was not there. Leonardo was not there. Espinosa was not there. So we give it to this witness who rarely makes public appearances or official appearances before government bodies. Let's give it to him. Okay, salita na salita. Okay, pero ang ano doon is, ang iba kasi na paulit-ulit, siguro mga 3 to 4 times na sabi. Pero okay, let us, because that is also valuable for us investigators to see kung consistent ba yung, even if you repeat something, are you consistently repeating something? So, we will now be convinced that, okay, this is really his stand on this particular issue because he stated it 3 times and the statement is really perfectly the same. So that may value din po lahat yun. But we could have ended it actually 2 hours earlier. Pero since my next commitment got also moved, so that means I had time. So I allowed it. Nandun na siya, sayang.
Okay. But the police officer Grijalde, Grijaldo,
Yeah.
who had an assigned affidavit, read it in the Senate, and said essentially that Representative Abante and Representative Dan Fernandez spoke with him privately and said, ipinakita, ayan, ito yung testimony ni Garma, yan ang sasabihin mo, yan ang sasabihin mo. And Abante saying, oh, ilang taon ka pa ba sa PNP? Baka mag-general ka. So in effect, he said in the Senate, wala siyang alam sa reward system, pero kumbaga na pressure siya doon sa Quad Committee, kaya sinabi niya, yes, may reward system. What do you make of that testimony?
No. Si Grijaldo, I think, did not confirm the reward system. He did not confirm. Tinanong ko siya eh. So you actually testified after that incident, yung kinikwento mo, yung na pinuturo sa iyo yung affidavit ni Garma. Okay, sabi ko, nag-testify ka sa Tuwadcom. Sabi niya, yes. Nagsinungaling ka ba? May sinabi ka ba doon na hindi totoo, na resulta ng pag-pressure sa iyo? Sinabi naman niya, no. Kung ano yung sinabi niya, pinaninindigan niya na totoo. So it was not about those paragraphs na pinakita sa kanya. So but then this is my point, no? Okay, ganito lang kasi dapat tayo mag-isip. We were not there eh. Tayo, Karen, ako, we were not there. So what are the 2 possibilities? Pwedeng totoong nangyari, pwedeng hindi totoong nangyari.
Pero ang totoo, talagang kinausap nila privately. Representative Abante
Inamin nila yun.
niya.
Okay, pero siyempre may in-between yun kung ano naman yung pinag-usapan na baka naman hindi pinipilit. Doon lang muna tayo sa version ng witness na parang pinipilit siya. Okay. Kasi kung totoo yun, saan tatakbo yung taong subjected to that kind of pressure? Saan siya tatakbo? So pasalamat may Senado na pwede niyan takbuhan so that he can now air what really happened. Ngayon, ang next scenario, paano kung hindi totoo? Therefore, panagutin siya ngayon ng House. The House should now call him again. Kasi I even asked Grijaldo. Sabi ko, Colonel, you took your oath, no? Sabi niya, yes. Binasa ko tapos yung because I got the information that Congressman Abante denounced what he said as lies. Sabi ko, itong reaction po ni Congressman Abante that hindi totoo yung sinasabi mo ngayon sa aming harap. Pinaninindigan mo ba yan? Kaya mong panindigan yan? Sinabi ni Colonel Grijaldo sa akin, yes. So, that's it. So, I'm talking to an active police officer, ganyang kataas ang rank ko, and who would be man enough to also defend what he stated under oath in the Senate, even if he is questioned before the House.
Oo. Now, my question is, these hearings, they're in aid of legislation. That's
Right.
the intention, right? It's supposed to help legislators make better laws.
Mm.
It's not meant for anybody to prosecute anybody. Both houses don't have that power. And yet, look at this witness, si Grijaldo. Now you have Dan Fernandez, and I believe, I don't know if Representative Abante is with this, but they will file cases against Grijaldo. So eto ka, at the end of the day, this is the Philippines. Ang congressman mas makapangyarihan, mas maraming pera. Kakasuhan ang police officer. Isipin mo yun, tumistigo ka na sa mababang kapulungan o sa Senado. Kung ayaw nila ang sinabi mo, kakasuhan ka pa. Problema pang inabot sa iyo, you'll have to hire a lawyer. Instead na nagtatrabaho ka, gagastos ka. And we know the influence of powerful people in this country with the courts. So that's my question. Ano ang hangganan ng kapangyarihan, Senator, ng mga legislator sa mga testigo?
Mabuti na rin ngayon because mabuti na rin sa third venue na nila i-litigate whether Grijaldo was telling the truth or not. It's before a judge. Ganoon na lang. Kaysa sa actually ang one possible scenario or remedy for them, which I predict you will not like and many other people will not like, is for them to call again Grijaldo to appear before them. And then right there, doon nila or lagyan ko lang sa quotation marks, i-crucify yung tao.
Oo. And do you believe that would be abusive?
Yeah, which would be more unfair, di ba? Because you now brought him to a house hostile to him. But if you now sue him before the courts, I think mas neutral yun. Pero tama na rin yun. So ako rin kasi, kunyari ganito. Kunyari there is a lie thrown against me. Ano naman din ang reaction ko? Masyado naman ako magulang if I will use now a Senate committee to find a way to call that person before us. So I think a fairer, gawin ko na lang quotation marks ulit, a fairer way to react under the circumstances is to, you believe that your rights have been violated, yung reputation mo has been tarnished, file a case in court. At least lumabas, you go outside of your own house.
Okay. So now, let's talk about Garma and Leonardo. Sa sunod na pagdinig, have you subpoenaed them? I believe Leonardo is detained, right? In the lower house?
As far as I know, yung dalawa, under house control.
Oo, house control. Paano yun? Does that mean that the subcommittee has to request the quad committee to I wouldn't say lend is the right word, but
To allow
them. Yeah.
That's why ganito, I will have to coordinate with the House before I even set the date next hearing. Ganun muna. Kasi may a little complication, may sinasabi sila na meron din daw detained doon eh. Espinosa I think is detained. Someone is detained. Someone is detained somewhere by some jail or prison. So we also have to involve the original detention center. So yun lang po yun. Just a minor thing, a little an extra step in the coordination process. Okay, but ganito. So I want to, at the second hearing, kailangan ko si Garma at saka si Leonardo. But just in case, worst case scenario, pinahirapan kami dyan o mahihirapan kami dyan, I can still hold the second hearing, but this time focus on the policy.
But wait, I want to ask you, if pinaghirapan kayo, can Senate President Cheese Escudero speak with the Speaker?
Yes, coordination.
That can happen. Yes.
Coordination tayo, but let us say, kasi yung actually Karen, yung first hearing, akala ko mag-a-attend eh. Nagbigay ng mga medical excuses. So, nagbigay sila. And siyempre, ako naman, I'm a very reasonable person. Sinabi na may COVID yung isa, kaya house doctor pa yung nag-certify, okay. So yung isa naman sa previously scheduled medical examination or procedure, At this point in time, at my age, nagpapa-schedule na rin naman ako ng mga medical exam. And I know it takes
Yeah.
weeks beforehand. So,
But a clarification is the House Squad Committee cannot own, they do not own those witnesses. So ang tanong ko nga sa inyo, for example, you have Garma and Leonardo that are, what were the words that you used? They're under the House Squad Committee's
custody.
custody.
Ngayon,
Why?
custody,
That's my
control.
question. Why?
Cited for contempt. They
You have
cited them for contempt.
But that's also the question, right? There are no cases filed against them, technically speaking. Under the
Yes, as far as I know, not yet. Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, but what power? That's also my question as a journalist, an ordinary citizen. When does this violate already the rights of an individual? Umami na nga yung Garma. She already said that my reward system, Leonardo agreed. On
Yeah.
what basis can you keep them?
Let the House Squadcom justify their continued
But
detention.
the
I
House
I will not justify it for them. Let them justify it. Sila sumagot. Kasi tama yun eh. They were requiring these two people to do something, which is to answer correctly. Yun ang point yata nila because in their belief, they were not answering honestly. Di ba? Under oath. So, kinontempt nila. Now that you can now purge yourself of the contempt by complying with what they are asking for. And they're asking for a truthful response to the question. Kung truthfully nang sumagot, dapat nga purge na sila of the contempt. So no more legal basis to hold them. But that's an outsider's opinion. The
Yeah.
the question should be directed to the Quadcom chairpersons.
Pero so technically speaking, there is no reason for Garma and Leonardo not to attend the Senate Subcommittee hearing if you subpoena them to attend.
Yes. Yes.
Technically,
Technically.
if the subcommittee issues out a subpoena, the House Squad Committee cannot not allow them, right?
Yes, theoretically,
Cannot not allow them. They don't have that power.
theoretically they should not. But then if should they be now allowed to attend our hearings but still be under contempt citation by the House, out of respect, the Senate, obligation of the Senate is to return the physical custody of the two persons to the House, back to the House, because we will have to recognize and honor their contempt citation over these two persons.
Okay.
So
because-
ibalik namin sila properly where they came from.
Okay, now the reason I'm asking this is already hypothetical, is, when people attend the Senate subcommittee hearing, senators, the congressman may be thinking, baka magbago testimonya nun sa Senado. Baka biglang sabihin ni Garma at Leonardo,
That's the
piling-
point.
That's it, right?
That's the point. That's the point.
So hence-
Under changed circumstances, will you stick to your story? If they stick to their story, then ang laking ang laking boost yun sa credibility nila.
Ng House Squad Committee, ng rin. It will be
Yes,
a big
the
boost. Yeah.
witness, the testimony to be used by the Quadcom has withstood questioning or even cross-examination in the Senate. Therefore, that's a very credible testimony kung mangyari yun.
All right. But I mean, relatively speaking, okay, it's the first time a former president attended as a Senate subcommittee or committee hearing. That's one. But technically, can the House decline the attendance of, can the House
Decline to allow.
has that ever been done?
I don't know if it has ever been done, but what would be the brilliant justification for that? No, they do not own these resource persons or witnesses. They do not actually control them. They just have custody of them. So I don't think that will happen, because that would be a big political issue, Karen, because the journalist should ask them to justify. But I don't think it will happen. My prediction is kasi last time Karen, actually they were ready daw. They were ready daw. Except that may mga medical reasons bigla eh. So may COVID. So who are we to dispute the COVID findings? So